y'all like my alphabet hat. It's not really. I don't know where we got this from, but you know, she cute or whatever. Hi. How's it going? And cut, because that, I don't know what that was. Hello, welcome back to Gnomes and Novels. My name is Delinda, your mood reading bestie, and we are finally doing a TBR video. Here's the thing, I do not do monthly TBRs. I am such a mood reader that I just would fail that every single month. So we do the things that we are good at that keep us in our lane, and that would be seasonal TBRs. I get so excited for this time of the year. I try to be cute, right? We all try to be cute. I do flip my decor, but I just moved. So I just put all that stuff in storage. I'm not going to get that just yet. The weather has not completely flipped, and it is much too hot to still grab all of that, but I am truly leaning into my fantasy and the vibes. Now, what does the vibes mean? The vibes is like spooky, dark, things that bring you joy when it's cold outside.
No, I know. It's not. I know.
But I want to read those things. I'm going to share with you the 15 or 20-ish books that I would really like to read during the autumn season, and I will put them in genre chapter splits for you. Now, this is not to say that like for each month I'm going to strictly read just these. How I normally do it is I'm like mood reading, and then when I can't really like figure out what I kind of want to pick up next, I'll be like, oh, let me go to my Autumn TBR and see what book is like giving me the vibe. That's why I have about 5 or 6 different genres on the list of books that I would really like to read. So it has worked so far this year. This year has really been kind of my like trial and error year of things. So let's get started with some of the books that I would really like to get to this season. Let's start light and then move to dark, and we'll just end with series, if that works. We will start with some contemporary fiction. The first book that I'm going to mention is The Burning Side by Sarah Damoff. This is her second book, and I have actually both books on my TBR to read at some point, but this one I have heard really, really good things about. I'm gonna try and keep these short so we are not here forever. This is the story of April and Leo, a couple on the brink of collapse. When their house goes up in flames, family secrets and thorny histories emerge as they are forced to decide what is worth salvaging. When April and Leo's house burns in the middle of the night, they escape with their 2 young children and the quiet knowledge that the fire is not the only thing threatening their family. So that actually does give me like some mystery vibes, which I feel is still perfect for the autumn season. My next contemporary fiction book is You Exist Too Much by Zaina Arafat. And this one I believe I had pulled for Pride Month, and I just never got around to it. Oh, yes. Okay, so on a hot day in Bethlehem, a 12-year-old Palestinian American girl is yelled at by a group of men outside the Church of the Nativity. She has exposed her legs in a biblical city, an act they deem forbidden, and their judgment will echo on through her adolescence. When our narrator finally admits to her mother that she is queer, her mother's response only intensifies a sense of shame. You exist too much, she tells her daughter. So I feel like this is going to be a very heartbreaking story. Normally I read a lot more fiction or contemporary fiction in the spring, Don't know why, but I really wanted to get around to this one, so that's why I'm putting it on my Autumn TBR. Okay, so those are the only two that I had for contemporary fiction shortlist. Let's hop over to some romance books that I have listed. Next, I have Somebody's Wife by Renee, and I absolutely loved Summer's Echo that I read, I believe in July. Yes, I did read that in July, and it was so good. I loved the author's writing style, her character development, the romance, like all of it. And I have heard wonderful things about Somebody's Wife, and you know, it's gonna get a little spicy, and the fact that it's like somebody's wife tells me that it's going to get messy. So I am very excited for this one. And I don't know if this is a series or just like a duology, but it also says it is part of a grown and sexy somebody. Okay, let me go ahead and see what it's about, right? My next book on the list is To Catch a Sinner by Dylan Allen, and this actually came out this summer.
Please stop it.
And I absolutely love this cover. It is stunning. Now, is it a romance? I actually do not know. Okay, fantastic. It says romantic suspense. I love that. Let's see a little bit about How to Catch a Sinner. It says, Sin Saki is driven by the same hardwired need as every eldest first-generation daughter to make her family proud, and she built her career and chose her partners with that single goal as her North Star. Everyone said she had it all, and for more than 20 years, Sin let herself believe they were right, until a near-death experience made the truth impossible to deny. Her relationship is on life support, her journalism career is a freefall, and the city she thought she'd conquer has chewed her up and spit her out. With everything to prove and everything to lose, Sin moves back home to Washington, D.C. on the eve of the first day of the rest of her new life. The saying about old habits proves painfully accurate. A new lead falls into her lap, and Sin dives back into the story that nearly cost her everything. Then when a man who was all the things she's sworn to avoid invites her to dinner, she says yes, but this story could resurrect her career. Okay, so it's a journalism story. Or she is a journalist. Okay, and the career is on some rocky terrain. Okay. Let's see what we make of this, and I will come back to it. Yeah. And this does say that it is going to be a part of a duet. And then one of my most anticipated releases is Writer in Residence by Miss Rhonda McKnight herself. I'm so excited about this one. When I was just like when I was skimming the shelves for some anticipated releases for this year, and I saw that she was having a book released, I was like, say less, take all of my coins. I don't even care. Like, ma'am, yes, please. If you have not picked up anything by Rhonda McKnight, you are doing yourself a disservice. If you like romance that is closed door and strong family ties, this is it. Pick up any of her books, honestly. I'm gonna just leave them here because that's how good they are, okay? So Writer in Residence, let's see. Alexandra Chambers is a writer who has run out of words, struggling with writer's block and the pressure to secure a new book deal. She wins a week in writer-friendly cabin through a drawing held at a local literacy center. When the noise of home threatens to drown out her words, Alexandra heads to the cabin. What she finds is far more than expected. A vibrant community brimming with inspiration, a past steeped in history and culture, and a man who both intrigues and unsettles her. And it literally just hits every single time. Like, at no point am I like, oh, I want a closed door romance. It's not even about that. Somehow the romance literally just like creeps in because you are so consumed with the story itself and the richness of what she is giving you. And then you're like, ooh, now we have some yearning going on. And it blows my mind every single time. So I'm very excited for when this one comes out. Now let's hop over to some historical fiction. first one I have here is John Henry Days by Colson Whitehead. I read my first Colson Whitehead book this summer also and really enjoyed his style of writing. And then when I was just kind of skimming his catalog, I saw that there was this book, and I actually really enjoy the story of John Henry. My grandfather's name was John Henry, and I don't think he was necessarily named after John Henry, but I mean, come on, it's a pretty cool coincidence. I love the story of John Henry, the man versus the machine, I think is what it was, with the railroad tracks and all of that. So it is a very intriguing story, and I really, really like it. And I believe it's one of those African-American mythology stories as well. So if you have not heard the story of John Henry, I definitely recommend you Google it or read a children's book or something. One level of a multifaceted retelling of the story of John Henry, the black steel driver who died out racing a machine designed to replace him. On another level, it's the story of a disaffected middle-aged black journalist on a mission to set a record for junketeering who attends the annual John Henry Days festival. It is also a high-velocity thrill ride through the tunnel where American legends give way to American pop culture, replete with PR flacks, stamp collectors, bluesmen, and turn-of-the-century song pluggers. John Henry Days is an acrobatic, intellectually dazzling, and laugh-out-loud funny book that we'll read and talk about for years to come. So I will say Colson Whitehead's writing, it is very rich with culture as well as how he writes it. Like, I can't even describe how he writes his, not even comedy, but it's just like, aha, like, you know, it's one of those things that kind of catches you off guard because of the topic, maybe, or, you know, he just like slides it in. So I'm very excited about this one. Next, we have The Good Luck Girls by Charlotte Nicole Davis, and I thought this was a trilogy, but it looks like it's just a duology, and it looks like it is more on the dystopian, so that's forward, not back. So I will do dystopian next, and we'll just keep moving forward. It's a Western dystopian. Let's see, this one says Westworld meets The Handmaid's Tale. I love the show, The Handmaid's Tale. I have yet to read the book. I would like to read the book at some time, and just do like a loose comparison of the adaptation. Aster the Protector Violet. The Favorite, oh, it's multiple people. I was like, what kind of label is this? The Protector of Violet? Okay, let me start over. Aster, the Protector Violet, the Favorite Tansy, the Medic Mallow, the Fighter Clementine, the Catalyst, the Good Luck Girls. The country of Arcata calls them Good Luck Girls. They know their luck is anything but. Sold to a welcome house as children and branded with cursed markings, trapped in a life they would never have chosen. When Clementine accidentally murders a man, the girls risk a dangerous escape in a harrowing journey to find freedom, justice, and revenge in a country that wants them to have none of those things. Yes, I feel like female rage, and definitely I can see hopefully where the sprinkles of The Handmaid's Tale is in here. So I am hopefully going to get to this one this season. And since we went from backwards to forwards, let's hop into Daggermouth. I will not spend much time on this one because it is going crazy right now in the book world. Daggermouth by H.M. Wolfe came out, I believe, this year, and it got picked up immediately because it went crazy. And it is going to be a duology, and I believe book 2 will come out next year in 2027. This one says, set in a corrupt surveillance state ruled by the masked elite, this true enemies to lover dystopian romance follows a mercenary who botches the assassination of a president's son and ends up forced to marry him. So that is what I do know about this story, and I've heard that it is a true enemies to lovers. I have heard that it's one of the best dystopian romances out there right now. I have it, and I just haven't. I think I had started it at one point and I was like, you know what? Let me put this to the side when I'm feeling it more. I think I started it maybe this summer, but it's definitely going to be a book that I I pursue this fall. I do not have a head for a hat. You know, people who understand my struggle, they get it. They get it. Let's go to fantasy, and then we'll finish off with some witchy vibes. Bonded by Thorns by the writing duo Elizabeth Helen is book 1 of the Beasts of Briars series. I do not know how many books are slated to be in this series. What I have heard, I'm just gonna move my Alani over a little bit because homegirl's got the zoomies. What I have heard about this one is it is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, which I absolutely love. And then it is a wide shoes. And if you are not familiar with wide shoes, reverse harem, it is typically one female to multiple male love interests. So if that is not your cup of tea, I understand. But I have learned that, you know, sometimes we just gotta have some options. I have a rollover book from my summer TBR to my fall, but I have actually started this one, and I'm waiting on my buddy to get her audio because this is a denser book. It is definitely heavily character driven, and the finale comes out this year. So it is definitely a book that I want to read, and I'm just waiting on my friend to get her audio. But it is Son of the Storm by Suyi Davies Okumboa. And this is the Nameless Republic, and it is so good. I have told her that if she really enjoyed, I have it somewhere. Oh, what is that book? If she really enjoyed The Final Strife and how that magic system is set up with the different hierarchies of the people based off the blood and all of that, then you will really enjoy this story. I would say this book is a mix of The Final Strife and Blood over Brighthaven. So if you liked those two magical systems and the hierarchies of the people, then I think you would really enjoy this story. I got to the end of part 1 and we are just about to go on our journey, but we do have multiple POVs. So it's something that I am tagging. It's something that I'm annotating as well. And I cannot wait to show you the finished product. I'm finally hoping to get around to Phantasma by Kaylee Smith. This one has been sold to me as very similar to Caraval by Stephanie Garber, and I really did enjoy that trilogy, as well as the spin-off Something Broken Heart. I did enjoy those books when I read them a few years ago, but this one has to do with more dark romantic themes and trials of some sort. So third book comes out next year, so I don't know how many books this one is supposed to be, but I am very intrigued to finally get to it now that the hype has kind of died down on this one. Now to get to some of the witchy books, the witchy vibes that I would really like to get to this season. We have Witch Queen Rising by Savannah Stevens, which I believe is also a 2026 release. A reclusive witch who fled the burden of her bloodline rises to be the greatest among them in the lush and haunting fantasy debut. For New Orleans witchkin, there is no greater honor than to become the prime chosen to rule. But the title is meant to pass between two rival houses of magic, not the prodigal, that is such a hard word, not the prodigal daughter of the former prime who died under mysterious circumstances. As a girl, Seraphine Barreau was dubbed the Tick Witch for her ability to feed on magic and make it her own. Even among those who alter fate and manipulate reality, she was a powerful outcast, feared and misunderstood by her people. I like it. I like it a lot. I do. Oh, that's gonna be good. An outcast witch? What? Okay, reel it in. I'm sorry. I just got really excited about that. And then I keep seeing this book pop up on the TikTok, the TT. This is Nolan's School of the Gifted by Derek Augustine. And this is an indie author. So, which means I'm not going to read it on my iPad. I'm going to buy it physically. Because I'm not in my e-reading era right now. Okay, welcome to Nolan's School of the Gifted. Ooh, okay, so we have a school setting. Perfect. A prestigious all-black academy for gifted young wizards where the vibrant culture of New Orleans intertwines with ancient powers. Hidden from the world, this magical institution is a place where legacies are forced and young wizards uncover their extraordinary destinies. For 15-year-old Donna Marie Gilroy, from the Bronx, life has always been a battle, fighting for her mother's health, her family's survival, and against a world that often seems stacked against her. But when a letter arrives inviting her to Nolan's, Donna discovers a hidden part of herself, a power she's never knew she possessed. Ooh, okay, so we're gonna have some witchy awakening. Can we call it that? Yes. Yes. Okay, and I believe there might be like a mystery. The cover is giving me like a mystery element. Something's gonna happen, and I'm here for it. It reminds me of a YA version of B.B. Alston, Amari and the Night Brothers. That's what this cover is reminding me of. So we shall see. And I believe that is all of the individual books. So let's real quick touch on a few series that I would either like to continue or finally finish. All right, the first one is a duology. So I've read book one. Lord, I read this. It says, when did I read Anatomy? I read this 2 years ago. Belinda, why have you not just read book two already? I don't know. So I had the Anatomy duology. Book one is Anatomy, a love story, and then book two is Immortality, a love story by Dana Schwartz. So I really enjoyed this when I read it. It has to do with, I believe it was a surgery student, I want to say. So this is set in the 1800s. It is a surgery student, and she tries to basically prove that women are just as intelligent and do belong in the classroom and the, OR room just as much as men do. But there are some paranormal features to it. I don't think this was like a true paranormal romance, but there are some paranormal features in dabbled throughout this story. You do deal with skeletons and graveyards and things like that. But the very end of this book was a cliffhanger, and I was so excited for it. And I don't know why I didn't just pick up book two at the time, but I am excited to continue where we left off on this one. Okay, so my next book is part of a bigger world. And this is Elantris by Brandon Sanderson. So it's a part of the Cosmere. I am not a huge Sando fan. That's not me. I'm here for vibes only. I read Mistborn Era 1 last year, and I thought it was fine. I was trying to like be on top, a part of the hype train. Whatever is a true epic story, and that's great. And when I say that, I find that a lot of epic stories are a bit long-winded, like let's get to the point. But I do appreciate the detail and the time that he took to create such a world. So I am going to continue, and I am by no means like, oh, I need to read one book a month or anything like that. I probably read like one series, because it's multiple series, y'all know. I probably read one series every 6 to 9 months or something like that. But again, I'm just starting, and I am in no rush to try and keep up with anything. He is still writing books, and they're coming out, and so I'm not trying to put myself into a stress-induced coma. That's not what we're doing. So the next book is Elantris. The Cosmere map has said that this can be read as a standalone after Era 1. Now, what any of this actually means, I don't know. So I'm not even going to attempt to like embarrass myself for other Cosmere people who really enjoy this world. So just know that my next one is going to be Elantris. Yep. We have another rollover. Actually, I don't think I put this on my summer TBR, but I need to read it. I need to just finish it so I can read the other two. The Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins. I just actually recently saw the preview for the Snake one, the Snake Ballad, whatever. I have read the original trilogy when I was younger, when they first came out. And I have not read the two that have come out since, like the Capital Man story and Woody Harrelson's story. What's that mean? Hitch? No, that's a movie. His story. I have not read his story. So I would like to finally get all caught up so that way I can just read those two. If you don't know what the Mockingjay is or the Hunger Games, and you know what? We're not judging. We're here to not judge because that's not nice. But it does amaze me that there are people my age, my generation, when these books were coming out and they never read them. Never watched the movies. Like, I can understand not reading them, but you never saw the movies because when these were coming out, we were big on the adaptations coming out. This is when Harry Potter was coming out, Divergent was coming out, Hunger Games was coming out. Like, movie adaptations was hitting its peak. And you never saw any of it? Twilight? None of it? Sorry. The movies are very good. I personally enjoyed the movies. So we're going to read The Mockingjay. This is actually a dystopian series set in a world where I believe there was like a pandemic, pun intended. There was a pandemic that had like wiped out the world, and it is whatever is left of of the US, Jesus be offense. It is now separated into 13 factions. I know that's a divergent word, but 13, not colonies. Oh my word. Oh, 13 territories, we'll call it that. 13 territories. And each year, 2 names are pulled out of the jar, not the TBR jar, but the jar of death, fate. And they are essentially fighting for resources for their family. I don't remember if it was for the whole territory or if it's just for their family. But essentially the capital is like in territory 1, and the furthest you are out, 13, you just have like less resources. So it's more poor versus the rich. It's a very interesting setup. I really believe that Suzanne Collins was way ahead of her game, and we have to give kudos to that because there are certain things that when I read Catching Fire, there were definitely lines in that book that I was like, whoa, when was this written? And this is 2026. And there was way too many parallels that were so close. And I know that's how a lot of people feel with Parable of the Sower, I believe. I am hopefully going to just go ahead and get this one read. And then we have book 2 in the Insipidity Scripts trilogy, Akata Warrior by Nnedi Okorafor. I read Akata Witch a while ago. I might actually need to reread it because I read it, but I didn't fully grasp everything. I feel like I kind of missed something, and then my niece read it because I gave it to her, and she was like, oh my gosh, I love this book so much. So I feel like I did not get all the things. So I might actually reread this one before I hop into Akata Warrior. But we have a young teenage girl who is albino, and so she cannot be out in the sun for long periods of time. But she is also a part of some sort of group that has like magical hidden powers. So again, I'm gonna reread this one and probably have to get back to you on this. And then the last series that I have to read, and I've been having a really good time with this, is Crave by Tracy Wolff. I am on book 4, which is Court. Now, I would sell this series as Twilight of 2026. we all know and love and probably have issues with the original Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. You know, it's a guilty pleasure at this point. It's super cringy to watch, but I really am having a good time. We have the awkward love triangle, we have a school setting, we have a bunch of different magical creatures and orders and such, and each story is taking us on like another adventure as far as like going to search for some magical being or going to search for something that's going to unlock certain powers for someone else. So I am having a fantastic time. The banter in this is so good. I love all of the side characters, all the main well, I guess, yeah, there's like one main character, and this always happens with a love triangle. Like I wish we could change the formula a little bit, because I feel like the original love interest should not always be a butthole, you know, and then we always flip the script and then we end up liking the other love interest. But like, I wish the original love interest was not always a butthole. That just is
Tamlin, you know, poor Tam Tam. Maybe he just had a hard life, you know? That doesn't mean that he had to go and kidnap people.
Not the point. I do definitely plan on reading book 4 in this series. I don't think I will finish it this year. Well, it's only August and I have 3 books left, 4, 5, and 6. So maybe I could do a book a month and I could be completely done with the Crave series. So we will see. If you stayed for the whole video, thank you so much. Go ahead and leave a black heart or a green heart. If you know, then you know. A black heart or a green heart if you want to comment anything. Don't forget to like and subscribe if that's your vibe, and I will catch you at the next video. Happy reading.
Hey, boo boo.